Okay, Hasbro, what are you doing? Tell me. I really need to know what Hasbro is really thinking about right now. To me, I got so many negative thoughts right now. I'm trying to be positive, but as of late, Hasbro and Marvel. Let's be honest, and among other brands of Hasbro, is Repaint City. So let's check this out. Oh wow, they're giving us a Giant Man update. This is one I definitely passed on. I have not gone in on a Marvel HasLab. The only HasLabs I've been on, surprise, surprise, are Ghostbusters, but that's besides the point. Don't get me wrong, I think this is a great sculpt, but some of the classic looking Marvel heroes are just not my bag. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love me Spider Man, I love me the X Men, Fantastic Fours, but this had no interest in me. One of the big things that threw me off about the Giant Man HasLab is, oh, you've given us, if we unlock the tiers, you give us these different heads. Okay, you get like a zombie head. Well, the zombie head's going to look off because, well, the rest of the body, I mean, if you're a zombie, especially a giant zombie, parts of you should have like bite marks and whatnot. They didn't give us any plates, any swappable armors to accent that. So that was a big, big swing and a miss right there. The teeth look so damn white. I mean, I'm hoping that, I mean, if this is a prototype, which they said it was, I wish, for those who did go in on this, I hope that they do some lining, something that will kind of show the teeth. I mean, from a distance, you're probably not going to notice, but I mean, like, that just looks like one big glob of white section right there. Okay? I mean, the eyes look fantastic. I mean, let's give her, let's give props where props are due. I think the eyes look fantastic right there. The gloss and everything. It's just this was always a hard pass. This was always a hard pass for me. I know there are some diehards. There are those completionists. There are the diehard old school golden age type comic book collectors and fans. And I'm not knocking your taste, but for me, this was a no. This is more of a niche. If you're part of the old school, you like the old style comics, and you're a completionist and you got the money for it, go for it. I really think that they should have given it a diorama of some kind. Again, I've said this with Sentinel, I've said this with even Galactus, and now with Giant Man. I mean, you basically have used the same skeleton, so to speak, given different layers for the armor, but you didn't give us any kinds of stands. If you give them a stand that looks like maybe some crushed cars or something, and have it where that kind of like diorama ground, like cracked street and gravel and cement and just debris, make it so that it pegs in so it can hold, it could be a stand, a nice display stand for your giant oversized characters such as Giant Man, such as, you know, Galactus, such as the Sentinel. I mean, do something like that. If you're going to give us a HasLab, don't just give us like some cardboard cutouts. Give us an actual proper stand. And it's easy to do. I mean, hell, McFarlane has been doing stands for his two packs for a couple years now. Hasbro, step it up for as much as your fans are spending, as much as you're cranking up the prices. And honestly, I could have seen Giant Man going for retail. You could have done that, but obviously you didn't. So let's just keep this going, right? Okay, so some of us already saw this a couple days ago that they are re-releasing some of the Deadpool figures, and why not? We got the movie coming out, so it's very cool. They're giving us the 80 years of Marvel, and they're celebrating Deadpool, of course, Deadpool and X Force. This is obviously this is like a retool. It looks like a retool, I want to say, but I think we've had this figure a couple years ago. But it's cool that they're kind of bringing it back, kind of almost Toy Biz like type branding on the art. I think this is cool. If you're a Deadpool fan, I'm gonna say it. Like a friend of mine says it all the time. Dude's nerdery. He always says, "You got to get two, one to stock and one to rock." So one you keep on the shelf or you keep hanging on the wall in package, keep it on the bubble. keep it clean, and rock it out. And then one where you just unbox and you have it part of your magnificent, you're insane, you're just displays of excellence. I think that's definitely one. But the question is, how are his joints going to be? Is this a new retool? Is it a brand new body? Odds are it's not. It's probably going to be a reuse. But I think for what it's worth, it looks very cool. I think this is definitely cool. It gives us that old school kind of look. I just wish, as far as the straps, like his armor and his guns, his armaments, his weapons, I wish the straps were had some kind of I'm not a fan of cell shading, but I think on that it would have worked out really nice because it shows some contrast and you can make out the buckles from a distance. I mean, right here on the comic book art, you can see the buckle, the strap right here. I mean, here it just looks like a bunch of plastic, and we got a little silver piece here and a little silver piece here from a distance. Um, the guns, I think the guns look great. It's Deadpool. You got to have his katanas, you got to have his Uzis, his handgun, and of course his rifle. Um, am I gonna get this one? This is one I'm probably gonna wait. I'm probably gonna wait on it right now. I got a few things going on in behind the scenes, some adulting, some necessary bills and expenses to take care of first. Um, I do plan. I At some point I'm probably gonna pick this up, not for me, but for Mrs. Dimension because she's a big Deadpool fan. Um, I will say this: it's cool that they're doing some of the retros, but I'm surprised that they're not unveiling anything to go with the new Deadpool movie. Hoping that they will release one or two figures, like give us a Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds 2 pack, of Wade and Logan. Give us. I hope they do that after the movie, but we got a couple months and we'll see what happens, right? But um, I mean, it's cool. They're showing us the art on the back here. I mean, this is cool. This is very vintage. Kudos to them for that. However, you know, I almost wish that they did something brand new instead of kind of recycling past figures. But it's Hasbro. You know they're going to do that. You know what I say. Hasbro is Latin for repaints, right? So, okay, here we go. We kind of had this. We had I think we had something similar. I think all they did was they took the scooter from Squirrel Girl and they just they just repainted it. They went from blue to red, obviously. This is something I'm definitely my wife. I showed her in Mrs. Dimension. She's loving this. She does want this at some point. It's cool that we got his sidekicks. We got the Deadpool core because we got the squirrel, we got the dog, and of course we got Wade here. Different comic book variation of Wade. I definitely think if you're a Deadpool fan, this is right up your alley. You kind of have to cop this, and I think it's currently priced at $39.99, so around $40 for two figures. Let me. I could be mistaken. So let me. We'll have to take a look later. I want to say it was around. Even if it's $49.99, I would say $40, 45. I think is the sweet spot for this. If it's more, I would hold off and wait to see if it goes on sale because I mean they've had some Deadpool uh, packages, 2 packs recently in the past couple years, and usually you can find them at GameStop, and eventually they go down. So that's the thing. We don't know how much hype is this really going to get. It is a Deadpool year. I mean, effectively, what isn't Deadpool like the only Marvel movie we're getting this year? So we'll just have to wait and see. Um, I like it for the cool factor. Honestly, I don't know if I would unbox this. I think I would keep it in box because I think the Deadpool core branding right there is cool. The fact that we can clearly see the dog, the squirrel, and Wade, his katanas, everything's kind of like it's spread out, and I think that's definitely what they need. They definitely need to have everything spread out, and I think this is a great display piece. It does take up a bit of real estate, but if you have like a standard bookshelf, you could have that as the back piece and have maybe a couple Deadpool figures or Marvel figures, kind of standing, posing out of their cases, out of their boxes, obviously, and you could still have that as a background piece. And I think that's great. If you're a Deadpool fan, I think this is great for your Deadpool shelf. and have a few loose Deadpool figures, in front of it, I think that's going to add a nice little piece to it. So if you're someone who's like me, straight out of boxer, this is something I think I would keep in box for several reasons. One, we don't know how stable that scooter is going to be standing on its own. So there's that. It would be cool if we had a bunch of smoke coming through, or if we had some bullet holes on the scooter. That may not be canon, but let's face it, if you're Deadpool riding in a scooter, you know you're going to get shot up. Um, and if I were to get this like on clearance somewhere, I would probably get it, and I would make some holes through the shell to make it look like there's gunshots, to make it look like there's damage. I can definitely see modders, weathering it, making it look beat up. It's Wade, it's Deadpool. Let's face it, nothing of his stays in pristine condition, right? So that's how I'm feeling about that. So let's see what else they had going on. Okay, Hydro Man and Cell Shaded Daredevil. Yeah, that's gonna be a pass on me. That's gonna be a pass. Let's see here. So from a distance, it looks pretty cool from a distance. However, you get up close. Okay, Hydro Man, like from the Spider-Man the animated series. I think if you're a Spider-Man fan, um, this is one of those villains where you could either go either way with it. You could get it because of the cool factor. Um, obviously they try to make him as translucent as possible. Maybe if you can rig a little LED light in here and in here, maybe a little some kind of light shining on his back, that might make him look a little bit more glowy. And that might be a better way to go display wise. But honestly, he's kind of he's kind of hit and miss. We knew him as the guy who was the Mary Jane's ex in the animated series, um, but I'm not really impressed with him. I'm really not. Cell shading. A lot of people are kind of on the fence about cell shading. A lot of people can't stand it. In this case, I'm not a fan of it. I get what cell shading is supposed to do, but not all fans are going to want this. To be perfectly honest. Now, I know there are going to be some fans out there who are so good at painting that they're going to be able to get rid of the cell shading and make their double look fantastic. And I can't wait to see your photos on Instagram, Facebook,
And it
all
is
over the
not.
place. But I mean, this right here, I think sculpt wise, he's a fantastic figure. He is a fantastic figure sculpt wise. Paint execution, hell to the no. I personally, I don't like the cell shading. I don't like it. They've been abusing it too damn much. I think Marvel and Hasbro, you guys need to reevaluate, do some polls, because honestly, like right now, if I wanted to get a morph, you know, like the video cassette morph figures, they are less than retail on Mercari, on eBay. You can even find them on a few other retailers at discounted prices. If I want to do an expanded X-Men 97 wave and I wanted to get Morph and Mr. Sinister, I could pick them up right now. I'm not a fan of cell shading, so that's why I haven't. Uh, it's interesting that they gave us the toe crunch up here. However, look at how the shape is around the curve of the toe itself. It looks nasty. It and I don't mean that in a good way. I mean McFarlane does the toe crunches so much better. So much damn better. I'm not promoting Toddy Mac. I'm just saying he executes the toe crunches so much better. I mean, this honestly, it looks like somebody's wearing like an old style slipper, and they're wearing socks, and the socks are bunched up right here. It it looks. Why do we have an angle here when it's obviously meant to be like a box here? It looks terrible. I'm hoping this is just a prototype that they're showing us, but odds are it's not. And honestly, if you're gonna have Daredevil, are you really gonna be using toe crunches? I don't think so. I think you're probably gonna have a flight stand with him in this kind of a pose, or something to that extent. Um, but the cell shading, it looks off. Now, if they had it where like, okay, part of his holster for his batons here was black, and then we had the red, but no, they're going with the cell shading on it, and I'm not a fan of it. I mean, this makes me, if I were to get this figure, it makes me want to do a paint of my own. And I am not a painter. I am not a modder of figures. So I'm kind of getting into a little bit, very, very, very subtle, very simple. But God, look at this. It looks bad. It looks bad. I mean, if the figure is on sale, I'm probably gonna pick them up, but I'll be tempted to experiment with some painting on it. Um, it doesn't sit well with me. And I get that it's a 2 pack. I get it's a 2 pack. Uh, and you know these guys, they could have a little bit more enthusiasm pushing it. There you go. Doctor Strange and Morbius are the next two in the video cassette wave. As long as they're not cell shaded, I think I would be open to it, especially for Spidey. I mean, right now we got Spider-Man the animated series that's been running for the past year or two as far as the figures, and now we have X-Men '97 Wave 2, which I'm already all in. I mean, for the most part, I'm all in. Uh, I mean, you got to have Doctor Strange from Spider Man. I mean, we got so many of the villains. We got to redo a few of my shelves. Um, and Michael Morbius. I think we have to get Michael Morbius. I mean, he's a villain, but he's an anti-hero. He's not really that bad of a person. It's just his circumstances. He was trying to show off to for Felicia Hardy, and just he was trying to be show enough. He was trying to trying to be the baller, trying to be the man, and he messed around with some neogenics and he got screwed, and now he's a living vampire. And of course, Doctor Strange, kind of OG Strange. No, this is like more like 80s, 90s Strange here. Uh, let's take a look at. Are they going to show us the figure? There we go. So there we go. Eyes look a little like under the eyes. They look a little dark. More like he's Sorcerer Supreme Strange than anything else. But I like the cape, with one exception. I fear that that's going to limit our arm movement. Unless we can take the cape off, I think that's going to limit our arm movement. As much as the cape comes down, I mean, it comes down right at his damn elbows, so he's not really going to have a whole lot of movement. I do like some of the sculpting on the trim of the cape. Um, but I can say this. I would like to see that look be a little bit more noticeable. But I'm thinking maybe with maybe a black wash or some kind of a wash to help bring out those lines to make them more noticeable. I think that would be very cool. I think that would be a step up. Um, but he's got a kind of a Vincent Price going on with his face a little bit, you know. Excuse me. It's almost like a JJ meets J. Jonah Jameson kind of meets Vincent Price kind of job going on here. And I'm talking about the comic book JJ, not the cinematic JJ. So let's keep it going. So there we got them side by side. I like that we have these effects. I would have liked them to be a little bit brighter. I mean, they could still do the blue, but do like some kind of like maybe like a light white frosting to give it a glow effect. To give it a glow effect without any kind of lights or anything. To kind of give it that accent, I could see a little bit like a faint little airbrushing of some white on here to kind of give it a little accent. I think that would be pretty cool. Man, they made his legs look like super, super ripped. Michael Morbius. Okay, I'm digging the coat. The coloring in the eyes, it looks very dark, like super dark. I mean, we should at least see some kind of color to his eyes. We It's almost hard to tell his teeth from his mouth from this distance. Um, I could definitely see someone trying to do some coloring around the teeth, possibly. I think the figure looks good for what it is. Depending on price point, if I can get them on clearance or maybe a bundle deal together, I would be open to that. One thing that has me a little bit puzzled is take a look at Michael's jacket. It looks a little bit more semi gloss. We got some semi gloss, looks more leather up here, but then it goes kind of like flat. It's got a flat color to it. It's almost like they only painted like the upper portion of the coat for the gloss finish, and then they let it go kind of like flat gray or like a matte, or not gray, but like a matte black. So there's some questions about that, but I could see a lot of people doing some touch ups, bringing it up forward. But I get that you also had that kind of semi gloss, that gloss kind of look at his legs, for his boots. So you wanted to create some kind of contrast to make that show. So I get that, but I don't know. It just there's, I think they're missing the mark a little bit. I think they're missing the mark a little bit. Where's the accessories for Michael? You know, we get we get the Morbius Morbius flying up here, but we got Strange with his his mystic energy right here. Could have given us something, I don't know, like an you know what they could have given us? They could have given us human Michael Morbius's head. You know, do a head a head swap or something. They could have done something here. I think. Um, I'm kind of feeling lacking right here. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's about time we had some more Spider-Man characters, but I mean, there we go. We have him picking up Peter Parker. I mean, it's a great pose. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's a great pose. However, I don't know. I'm feeling lacking. I'm sure they're probably going to hit us up for about $30 a piece, or do. I hope they do like 50 or 55. But who knows? Now we get our Walmart exclusive of the Prowler. Another classic Spider-Man animated series, but of course, a lot of us want him for. I mean, he's just badass. Um, but I feel he's a little. I don't want to say two-dimensional. I mean, are we getting any accessories with Prowler? Probably not. Okay, we get his head. Okay, we get the head swap. So there. Um, but I don't know. It feels like it's lacking. I don't know what it's lacking, but I feel like it's missing something. Prowler is lacking something. Okay, let's go back here. So yeah, that's all we get is a head swap. That's all we get is a damn head swap. Okay. Um, it just feels like he's lacking. Like he should have something else with him. You know, it almost looks like a bad Spawn masking. Um, I don't know. It just feels like it's lacking. I'm probably going to be passing on him. I know a lot of people are going to be looking at me sideways, including my brother Dre. Um, but maybe if he's on clearance, I'll get him to go with the rest of my rogues gallery when it comes to Spider-Man. But I don't know. It just feels lacking. You know. I mean, you know what they could have gone with? They didn't have to go with the hard plastic cape. They could have gone with something with a wire inside, some soft goods, so that we can pose the capes different ways. Because I mean, Prowler. I mean, I mean, he was an awesome character from Spider-Man the animated series. I just wish. I think they could have given him a little bit more attention, a little bit more detail, a little bit more, I don't know, something to it. What do you guys think? What accessories or what kind of options would you have taken with the Prowler figure? I want to hear your thoughts. So let me know in the comments section below, guys. And if you don't agree with me, hey, put me in my place. Let me know in the comments section below, guys. And again, Prowler, Walmart exclusive, US and Canada. I will say this, please beware. Beware of Marvel's ordering. A lot of times I've had plenty of pre-orders get screwed up with Walmart. Buyers beware. Who knows? Maybe he'll pop up on the shelves relatively fast, but you never know. What else do we got going on? Of course, we get, big surprise. Let's bring some symbiotes. We got Spider Man gallery going on. So he's going to be a Target exclusive. So, get ready to go to Target, Ho, ho, ho. I will say this the Carnage, okay, I'm digging the sculpt on him. Obviously, this is a repeat body. However, you know, putting a little sculpt of the Sinoses, the little black little veins going all over him. I think it looks really good. I love the blade, the curved moon blade that he has going on here, almost like a scorpion tail. He's got the loose little synapses or synoses, the little worm-like tendrils that are coming all over the place, and then he has like his battle axe arm for the other arm. I think that's fantastic. We get a set of alternate hands. This Carnage looks amazing. For Hasbro, that is. We can see some obvious cavities in the legs. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, right now this one, of course, the one they're displaying looks fantastic. However, will we have any QC issues? It is Hasbro. It is Hasbro. Odds are we will have some QC issues. Obviously, we get the traditional crunch on the torso, and of course we get the waist twist right there. I mean, this is a better shot of the axe. I think it looks fantastic. I think this is probably one of the better Carnages. Is it Carnages or Carnage? Who knows? Let me know. So yeah, this is probably one I may pick up at some point in time, but it's not something I'm going to be like, well, I have to hunt. I have to hunt. I have to grab this. I eventually I will get my hands on it. I know this. I know this. There's no question about it. At some point, I'm going to play the long game. That's who I am. It's who I am. It's what I do, guys. I'm a long gamer. So there you go. United States, it's in Target, but Canada, uh, my brothers and sisters north of the border, you have a choice of either Toys R Us or Fan Channel to pick this up. So there you go. Nice to see Hasbro giving options to our our family north of the border. I'm hoping you're going to give those in Europe and around the world show them a little love and give them some options, which Hasbro doesn't always do. So it's cool to see this. It's cool to see the options. It's good to see the options. So right now, out of everything I've seen so far, this is probably the highlight right now. I know that's a bit of a hot take. Take it what you will. Okay, again with Franklin Richards and Valerie Richards, the twins. I mean, I'm sorry. Whenever I see that F, I mean, I just think he's like Danny Phantom. I'm sorry. That's just how that's just how the suit looks. It's just how it's drawn. I'm just saying. I am not impressed. I mean, we've seen this. Oh, there you go. Apparently, they're doing Valerie and Franklin finishing or restoring the Fantastic Four by having Spidey and Wolverine. Guys, repaint City. Re damn paint City. Um, I don't get me wrong. I like the concept of having Spidey and having Logan with them. Okay, I like the concept. I don't like the execution. All they did was take Spider-Man. They stripped him of the webbing, paint him blue and black. He's got his spider symbol right there, and that's it. Wolverine. I mean, same thing. They basically took like X-Men '97, you know, and they kind of basically just repainted him. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the X belt that they kind of threw on him, but this just it feels like okay, slightly different claws, but it feels like a rehash. It feels like they're phoning it in. Did they give us a brand new sculpt? No. Let's see if I can. There we go. No, trying to get the Spider-Man pose right there. So, I mean, it looks kind of cool. It looks kind of cool. Um, I just you can tell these are blatant repaints. They are blatant repaints. I'm not a fan of that. Hasbro does this with Transformers. They do it with Marvel all the time. I'm just I mean, if you gave us a different kind of sculpt, I think the claws on Wolverine look slightly different, but I could be wrong. But it's just and look, you obviously have his arm on a twist, right? On a twist, and look when you twist his arm, how that doesn't look natural. if you look right there, his shoulder is here, but then you have the biceps of his arm going like friggin' like a massive ass calzone. I mean, it does just doesn't look right. Repaint is this is a thumbs down. Repaint City. Anytime they do Repaint City, I mean, from a distance, I think this looks great on a shelf. It's an eye catcher. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely an eye catcher. I'm just not a fan of. Okay, we have this 2 pack, and now are we going to do Wolverine and Logan or Wolverine and Peter? Are we going to get Spidey and the Wolverine as a 2 pack, or what's going on here? Oh, and yet, oh, of course, we have to do yet another Captain America with a different shield. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am a fan of Captain America. However, I'm kind of captain's out right now. I'm just I'm not overly feeling it. Here we go. US and Canada, Walmart only. Captain America Secret Empire. Um
time to a Walmart.
Sorry about that. I just I'm not overly feeling it. I mean, maybe if I saw it on Walmart on clearance, box is beat up and it's on clearance, I'll probably jump on it just to have it. But I'm just not feeling it. I know a lot of people are looking at me sideways like, what the hell is wrong with you? But that's just how I'm feeling it. That's just how I'm feeling right now. I'm not vibing on this stuff. Okay, we have a new Captain America. Okay. We have Sam Wilson. Um, I I don't know how I feel with the wings being red. I get this is probably more. This might be more comic book accurate. I like how we have the arrow in the wings making the star. I like that. But guess what? It's going to be the same shield we've had 1,000 times over. We have his backpack that obviously the wings merge onto. This is going to be kind of similar to Sam Wilson's that we've had in the past. You know, they kind of had that kind of a wing, but they slightly sculpted just a little bit different. I don't know if I'm on the fence about this one. I am perfectly honest. I am on the damn fence about this. It is what it is, guys. I'm just on the fence. Like Marvel, it doesn't do it for me anymore. I don't know. I'm just kind of jaded. I've had QC issues. I've had cancellations, and if you really look at a lot of the figures are just repaints, same body, maybe a little bit extra molding in a few spots, but for the most part, they're just repaints. Here we go. This is Target exclusive in the States and Toys R Us in Canada, north of the border. What else do we have going on here? Um, Baron Zemo, Armanzola. For the deep dives and those who are big fans, I mean, this is a great sculpt. Don't get me wrong. This is for the comic book fans. Um, I'm passing on this. This looks like a friggin' sticker. This looks like a decal. I wouldn't be surprised if a few people print out their own versions of this to replace that or to swap it out with. But Baron Zemo and Armanzola, obviously from Captain America line. Um, this is, and they're making this an Amazon exclusive. I will say this: since it's an Amazon exclusive, if you're a fan and you want this, I would keep an eye out. Amazon does do kind of weird sales at times, so I would keep an eye out on this. But honestly, this is a pass for me. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. That's me. That is me. You know, you guys might be feeling it, and if you are, let me know in the comment section below. Please do. I'm just not feeling it. You know, it's just how I feels. Excuse me. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is Baron Zemo looks good. He's got a sword. You know, looks very comic, but I'm just not feeling it. I'm really not. Let's see if we got anything else. Okay, so we got. Hold on, guys. Okay, so what is Fan Channel? Specialty toy stores selling fan collectibles, including but not limited to. So, United States Fan Channel is Obviously, Hasbro Pulse, GameStop, Entertainment Earth, and Big Bad Toy Store, and select toy retailers near you. Europe, we have Hasbro Pulse, Star Faction, or no, Star Action Figures, Elben World, and dedicated local fan specialty stores by country. Okay. Asia and Pacific, we have, of course, Hasbro Pulse, T-Mall, EB Game Zing, Robo, and Hobby Base, and RobotKingdom.com. I'm familiar with that. If you're a Transformers fan, you should definitely be familiar with that. Canada, we have Hasbro Pulse, GameStop, and Toys R Us. Latin America, We Play Store, uh, Jungletron, Jewett. I'm not going to pronounce it. I don't even know how to. Sears. So apparently Sears is still a thing in South America. Falabella and select toy retailers near you. So there we are. They are showing some love across the world. It's about time. So we get Nick Fury. It was a matter of time before we got Nick Fury represented. The all white, and let's be honest, see, the problem is with all white, we know it's not going to stay all white for long. You'll get some dirt, you get some dust. You got to break out the special brushes to kind of make sure you can keep it squeaky clean. We got a little bit of smoke coming from his machine gun. This is a cool looking one. I'm not gonna lie. However, we know this is a reused body. We've seen this body a few times over. Looks like they're gonna be doing some shield agents. Oh, we got was it Dum Dum Dugan, and of course looks like we have that's supposed to be Widow. I don't think it's Widow because there's no stingers on her wrist. No, that might be Widow. I'm trying to think who that might be. I'm not playing this with sound because I don't want any copyrights. What's with the black smoke right there? That just doesn't look right. On a silver pistol, I mean, give some white smoke to come out of there, you know? This looks, I will say this Dugan looks good. Nick Fury looks good. Um, I don't know. I'm on the defensive with her. I don't know. Something about the figure the sculpt, the way they did the paint on the face, it just, I don't know, looks weird. Something looks off. I'm not sure what. Okay, here we go. We got some more. So they're doing quite a few figures here. I mean, I believe I think that's supposed to be Adam Warlock right there. Um, I think I'm going to be passing on these because I'm sure this is part of a Build-A-Figure. There we go. We got Stark. This is supposed to be like Superior Stark, I think. I mean, don't get me wrong. I kind of like the sculpt of the suit, and I can see a lot of people playing around with this. Um, of course, yeah. This is. I think this is like the Savage Land. Again, kind of doing resculpts. Why is this just painted on? Why couldn't you give us like something that's embossed and raised? Um, I miss right there. The eyes, they just look weird. They just look weird and sketchy for some reason. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're doing good posing here. Um, I mean, she just kind of looks like a Masters of the Universe character. Okay, another version of Cable. Not surprised. That's time slide and mofo. Gave him a little bit more hair, kind of, making him look more Josh Brolin like. I think a little bit. We got the glow of the eye. We got his guns, proper, nice. Kind of faint similarity with the X-Men 97 Bishop's rifle, but this one looks better. Honestly, I would be kind of tempted. I know it's not screen accurate. However, I would be tempted to get him just for my X-Men 97 so I have a good cable. I really around where I live, there's not a whole. We didn't get any real. We didn't get any cables around here. I could order one. I'm sure on eBay, but I kind of like how the X Men logo is presented all over his suit here. I think this would be a solid companion piece to go with X Men '97, but that's just me. Sometimes I like to step out of the box. So I'm thinking, he would be a good figure to have. I like the sculpt. I like the sculpt of the hair, the scar, the energy on the eye. I think the arm looks. I think he looks really proportional here. Um, I would probably think of doing a wash on the yellow though to make the lines kind of pop a little bit more. What do you guys think? Do you think it's good as is, or do you think a wash would help this a little bit? Let me know. So what else do we have here? Of course, yeah, can't have the Savage Lance without the your obligatory barbarian with the spear. You gotta have it. I don't get guys. You can hate me. I don't know all the names off the top of my head right now. I remember it from the X Men '97 series, and of course, it's a build a figure for a big ass cat. I know. Don't hate me for it, guys. I mean, come on. They did the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was to build a dog, and now we're building a big ass cat. Go ahead and hate me. I don't. Okay, we got people in the chat here, obviously saying, uh, "Reboot the line, please." Legion with his comic accurate, and then we get someone saying that it's a great wave. He says this wave really started really mid until Wolfsbane, Cable, and Kazar. I'm still passing on that wave. I mean, I might get Cable, and if Cable comes with a piece, I'll probably pass it on to someone. Yeah, Cable does come with a piece, so I'll probably get this one at some point and pass it on to someone. But this wave is kind of it's not for me. It personally it's just not for me. Um, just hitting and missing, man. I mean, Hasbro. I don't know what they're trying to do, and that is the end of their stream. Um, I mean, it's kind of niche in a way. It kind of is. Um, I mean, there's stuff they could have done. I get they want to keep this apart from X Men '97, but X Men '97 kind of went into the Savage Lands, but not with all these characters. I just feel like this is a missed opportunity. There's so much they could have done here, they didn't. Hasbro, I don't know what the hell you guys are doing. I really don't. I really don't. I mean, we go to Hasbro's website. They still have oh, these are the ultimates that they're trying to do now with Dungeons and Dragons. You guys know I'm into Super 7, but I'm not into Super 7 with every damn thing in the universe. This was a pass for me. Patch and Joe Fix It. I'm just not feeling it. You guys know I love Power Rangers, but honestly, I'm probably not planning on getting any of these, except for maybe Zero Ranger 5 Red. I have to kind of get him for Tommy, you know. I do want to get this Sky Warp, but not for me. I want to get this for Mrs. Dimension. Long story short, she had a transformer when she was a kid. It was Skywarp, the OGG1 Skywarp, which I want to get for her. Um, but she never knew until me that this was a bad guy. She always thought it was a good guy. Funny story. But yeah, I do want to get that for her. But like Star Wars, I'm out on Star Wars right now. Unless something really cool and worthwhile comes out, I'm passing on that. Transformers doing the train bots. Again, this is very niche. I think this is niche. Unless you're a Transformers completionist, unless you're heavy into the canon from Japan, then it's a pass with this. I'm surprised that they've made it. Well, not really surprised. I didn't. I was thinking that they might just barely make it, but they already reached their first goal. Transformers, Robots in Disguise, Prime, Omega Prime. If you watch the cartoon, you know what this is. Okay, it's really three Transformers that merged into making Prime. Okay, this was during Robots in Disguise. For a couple different Transformer series, they had it where they were all combiners. They can combine together to make a more powerful version of one robot. They also had mini cons that gave them power ups. Um, I honestly didn't think they would do it, but they did it. They're at they for and the thing is, they're making each tier. Like, okay, Optimus Prime. Here he is. Of course, Optimus Prime was a fire truck, you know, and then he can transform into this version of Prime. Prime can also be a base, and then we have Magnus. And come on, this is basically a reprint of Cybertron Magnus with a few extras here. You know, they merge and then they become then we have like there's a Matrix Saber in here and everything. You get a stand because let's face it, for that guy you kind of need a stand because he's a big boy. But I honestly think this is something they could have sold at retail. They could easily have sold it at retail. It's basically a build a figure with two figures. It's a build a figure with two figures. Come on, it doesn't make a damn bit of sense. I'm sorry, Hasbro. I don't know what in the what you are doing. But guys, let me know. Do you agree with me? I know a lot of hot takes were given here, but I saw these and I'm like, really, really, Hasbro, really? There's a few that I'm interested in, not just for me, but for obviously Mrs. Dimension. She loves her Deadpool, so I'll probably be picking up the Deadpools for her. Carnage looks cool, uh, but for the most part, there's not a whole lot. I'm not psyched for it. I'm really not. And I know it's a hot take. I know people are going to look at me sideways, but you know what? It is what it is, and that's what it is, guys. If you agree with me, let me know in the comment section below. If you don't agree with me, let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you like this video, give me that thumbs up. If you did, hit me with the thumbs down. Tell me, put me in my place in the description below. Or you guys can always message me down in my socials at the bottom of the screen. We got Dave's _ dimension on Instagram. And of course, you can always email me at davesdimension78 at gmail.com if you want to bring it right to me. Go ahead. Don't worry, guys. There's going to be a lot more disappointments coming from Hasbro very soon. You can guarantee it. I mean, right now, I'm actually in the process of doing something with some of my Marvel figures. Loki. What's going on with Loki? Well, you guys just got to stay tuned and find out. We're also going to be doing something with Talos. What could it be? What could it be? Well, you got to stay tuned to Dave's Dimension and also to my Instagram for further details. But guys, that's it. We're done with this video. Again, if you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if this is your first time coming to the Dimension, hit that button. Hit that red button right below. It says subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. And guys, please check out all of our previous videos. This is Dave's Dimension, the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme, and your channel for tech, toys, and talk. And also, please don't forget to check out my many, many, many friends, including Dre of the Collector Safe Space on his channel, where he does everything from toy reviews to comic book pickups. You name it, he claims it. Also, don't forget to check out Darth Blaze, the best game streaming around. And of course, a good friend of the channel, Coldbane Games. Please check out Coldbane Games. That's with a K. Coldbane Games on his channel. He has Friday Night Fortnite. He's got Monday Night Finals game. He's got a lot of amazing streams and Gundam builds. So please go ahead and check those gentlemen out. And don't forget to check out the ladies. We got Britterbug Gaming. She's doing an amazing Poppy Playtime, so go ahead and check her out. And of course, she has a whole gambit of games that she does live streams on all the time. But guys, until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying keep on busting. You know what I'm going to say. I say it every single time. I will always catch you on the flip side. Take care, guys.